Today we're going to open up the Neo Matrix from a company called Pulse 8 out of the UK. And it's a 4x4 or an 8x8 matrix. We've got the 4x4 here. The outputs are all HD-Base-T, so you just run Cat5 out to your monitors and then HDMI in from your sources. The Neo is Alexa enabled. It also has integration capabilities for Control4, Savant, Crestron, RTI, and other control systems. You have a remote diagnostics, so the dealer can log in from off-site and make sure everything is working okay if the customer's having any trouble with their TVs, so you don't have to roll a truck and go on a service call. So this is obviously a demo unit. That's why the box is all beat up. Your box would come a lot cleaner than this one. So now we get to use my favorite tool, which is the Dottie locking knife, the LBK. This and the Neo, you can find more information on our website at www.group1nw.com. So let's open this thing up and see how it looks. So there's a little box on top here. Inside some nice protective foam. We've got our receivers. So here's our HD-Base-T receivers. There's 4 of them for your 4 outputs. Very, very simple. Cat5 in, RJ45, HDMI out, and then you've got an RX and a TX, a receive and a transmit for IR. And you've got 4 of them. Very, very basic, very clean, nice packing. You know it's not going to be trashed when it gets to you. Now we've got the actual Neo. Protective coating here for the front, and on the back here are all your inputs. The infrared, what else do we got? We got Ethernet here, power, HDMI inputs, and as you see you've got your HD-Base-T outputs for to go out to the extenders. 2 of these could actually be HDMI out instead of the HD-Base-T. So one more box. This must be some power supplies and accessories. We've got an IEC cord, some IR transmitters and receivers, a very simple remote control, and a power supply. Very, very easy. We got some instructions in here. I don't think we're going to need much. It's a pretty simple system to install. But now we're going to actually plug this in. I've got some sources and I've got some monitors here. We're going to plug this in and see how easy it is to do while you watch. All right, so we unboxed the Neo Matrix. I've actually moved it over to our demo area. As you can see, I have a very working demo area that's not all polished for video, but it's a working man's display. All we have to do is plug the matrix in. And one thing I wanted to point out is the Neo comes with a locking power plug that has a little grommet here that'll screw in on the back so that you don't accidentally unplug it in the back of a rack and have to go find your power supply. So plug that in here in the back. Plug in our IEC cord. And now what I'm using as a demo is I've got a Vanco HDMI matrix here that works great, but it is a manual matrix, much different than the Neo. So I'm going to actually take all my sources and all my displays and just switch them over from the Vanco to the Neo. So basically just plug all my HDMIs in. I don't have multiple Balun outputs. I only have one. I took one of my extenders and I plugged it in back on the over on the monitor. So one of mine I will use the HD-Base-T, but 2 of them I'm just going to use the regular HDMI. So pulling the Cat5. This goes out to my Balun on the other side. So this is going into my HD-Base-T. Whoops. And then I've got a network wire that's plugged into my switch here. So Bring this online with the Ethernet. Probably should have done this where I can see it a little better. But now I've got power. I've got 4 HDMI sources, and I've got 3 displays, as well as my Ethernet and my power. At this point, the Neo is ready to go, and because I'm on the same network as the Neo, I can open up my computer and go to gotomymatrix.com, and up pops the Neo interface. You see we have our 4 inputs down the left and our outputs on the right. I am using a lot of video security products that don't have CEC information. If you're using an Apple TV or a Blu-ray player, those kind of products would actually autofill their identifier in these fields so that you know what you're looking at. Basically, if I pull up my input 1, I can drag it to any one of these outputs and change the status just from the web page. The first thing that they talk about doing is updating the firmware. So I'm just going to follow this through as it's a new product. I go to monitoring.pulse8.com. There we go. So here's our cloud monitoring. This is the part of the Neo that's really helpful for installers. Log into your cloud account that gets set up before you buy your first Neo. We can help you out with that. And then log in as a dealer, and each of your installs will be assigned to your dealer account so you can monitor them remotely. I'm just following through. I've got a nice little, just a single page cheat sheet that they send with the product that walks you through the steps of getting it put onto your cloud account. And go to My Installs. I don't have any yet. Click Add New. Project name is Group 1 Demo. Customer name is Group 1. And our contact number. This way you can keep track of your customers. And add. So we've got our contact number here, and now I need to add the Neo to the product. Click Add, and there's the serial number of the Neo that I've already purchased. So it's already here, ready to go. I'm just assigning it to my demo account. In this case, you could have many systems set up for the same customer, or you could have all your customers listed so you can track them down easily. Here's the dashboard for our unit. It shows the 4 inputs, it shows the outputs, it shows that a couple of the outputs are mirrored and we're using those. As you can see here, we've got the blue shows that there's something plugged in. We have 2 of the HDMI cables plugged in, and then 1 is plugged in on a Balun. We've got our network information down here. We have the external network information, and then we've got systems commands if you needed to remotely reboot the unit.